The Mario Party series has been a staple of multiplayer gaming ever since it first graced our consoles all the way back in 1998. Over the years, this iconic franchise has served up a wide variety of titles, each just adding its own unique spin to the classic blend of minigames, board game antics, story, side modes, and of course some good-natured rivalry. From the nostalgic charm of the early entries to the innovations across the journey, the Mario Party series has seen a fascinating evolution. It now spans across 5 main home consoles and 3 handheld systems, with a nice total of 19 installments, while the sequels for the most part do stay true to the original formula of, rolling dice, collecting coins, items, playing some minigames, and of course buying stars to just determine the winner. Others though actually explore some new and creative gameplay ideas, which don't always land for every single person, but it really does depend on who you ask and also low-key what we grew up with Super Mario Party Jamboree offering a really nice fresh take while almost paying homage to almost every single classic in some way. I think it's the perfect moment to look back and just reflect on the entire series. Whether you're a long-time fan or new to the party, join me as we rank every single Mario Party game in 2024, including Jamboree. I really must stress before starting this video, this is just simply my ranking. I genuinely enjoy every single entry in the Mario Party series. That goes all the way down to last place. I can play any at any time and still have a freaking good party. Before we do get started, just be aware that I'm giving away a copy of Super Mario Party Jamboree just due to this channel's success during the lead up to the game's launch. Just simply be subscribed to be in the running for it, and if you are following on Twitter or Discord, you'll also get an extra entry. And if you do win and have the game, I'll be doing a $50 eShop voucher instead. Onto the ranking. Number 19, Mario Party e-reader. Truth be told, I was really on the fence about whether this one should even make the list. Is this really a Mario Party game? Instead of physically rolling dice and moving your game pieces across a board, this game relies on a combination of e-reader cards and also a playmat just to simulate the usual gameplay mechanics. It's a pretty unique take for sure, but it certainly does feel like an outlier just compared to the rest of the series. I'm not going to go into all the actual specifics, but just to give a quick little rundown, you essentially just scan cards to trigger minigames, use items, and just move across this board. The interaction with the e-reader is pretty interesting, and the minigames can genuinely be fun in their own right, but it just lacks the signature chaos and that charm that fans just expect from Mario Party titles. It is a fun card game though, and if you can get your hands on a copy, I really do recommend playing it on a games night with some friends or family, or hell, even by yourself. Number 18, Mario Party The Top 100. It's really hard to believe how they managed to take such a brilliant concept and just miss the mark entirely, but that's kinda what happened with Mario Party The Top 100. Again, I still like this game though. Just the idea of pulling 100 of the best minigames from the series history to create a fun celebration honestly just seemed like a guaranteed win, and in some ways, it still does deliver. Many of these selected minigames are just so iconic. However, that's essentially the full experience. You do have minigame island to go through, but if you are just hoping for a nice return of classic boards from older games maybe, you're essentially just bang out of luck. The game only includes one board to play on, and it's not even nostalgic at all. It's pretty average. Everyone here also moves at the same time, and minigames are triggered randomly. It's seriously baffling that they didn't include at least 5 or 6 classic boards. Simply put, by only celebrating half of what made the original game so memorable, this entry kinda falls short on what my expectations were. Ignore this game and just go ahead and buy Superstars. Number 17, Mario Party Island Tour. This game is often considered one of the least memorable in the entire Mario Party series, and I can kinda see why. The game introduces a variety of boards, each at least with its own unique set of rules and mechanics. While this approach does show an attempt to innovate, the results genuinely are a little uneven. On some boards, players are largely confined to moving in a straight path with some occasional setbacks, and it gets pretty boring pretty quickly. One of the game's redeeming features though is the collection of 81 new minigames. However, despite the abundance of minigames, the overall experience on the boards doesn't really offer that much excitement or even replay value. However, if you do have this console laying around and haven't played Mario Party Island Tour, I wouldn't be opposed to getting it. It still does offer a lot of fun, just not for as long as other Mario Party games. Number 16, Mario Party 10. Despite the many issues faced by the Wii U, this shouldn't have been played by an average Mario Party game. The Wii U's touchpad genuinely had the potential to create some of the most unique minigames, yet Nintendo didn't really capitalize on it at all. A major flaw in Mario Party 10 was unfortunately carried over from Mario Party 9, and that is the car system. And yes, I am aware that there are some people out here that do like this system, and hey, that's awesome for you guys, but for me personally, I like the original stuff better, but I still do like this game, do not get that wrong. If you're familiar with Mario Party 9, this game is pretty similar. You move in a car together, collect mini stars, and even face bosses, which, besides the entire car mechanic thing, the rest of it's pretty fun. Unfortunately though, the 5 boards in this game do resemble a lot of the new Super Mario Bros. Series. This was a pretty significant downgrade from Mario Party 9, which had a lot of really nice boards and even more filled with events. Another mode being Bowser Party just didn't really hit the mark for me. Amiibo Party also sucks, sorry to say out loud. It's essentially just a game hidden behind a paywall, and I don't really like that. On the bright side though, the mini games in Mario Party 10 are still pretty enjoyable, and the character roster is honestly solid. Despite some of the shortcomings I did mention, this game is still a lot of fun if you do want to play it. Again, I would play this anytime, anywhere, and I really like the box of this game too. I've got the collector's edition. Number 15, Mario Party Star Rush. This game is quite similar to Island Tour, although the boards here are slightly more engaging. Toad Scramble features 15 different boards, and each one comes with varied layouts that just add a lot of freshness. Everyone here does move simultaneously, and the main goal is to collect stars. However, it doesn't quite hit the mark for me, because moving at the same time as everyone else make things feel a little less strategic. I really do like the fact that you can earn stars by defeating bosses, but the mini games in this game for me personally are a little inconsistent. Speaking of mini games, there are only about 50 in total here, which is pretty surprising given that Island Tour offered a whole lot more. Balloon Bash though was pretty fun, and it comes with smaller boards and star balloons with just a little tiny layer of strategy too. There's also the Coinathlon, which is probably my favorite mode in this game. The aim here is just to collect the most coins. I'm really glad to see that this kinda came back with the Coupathlon in Super Mario Party Jamboree. It was a good idea back then, and it's an even better idea now. Then there was also Mario Shuffle as well, which unfortunately requires amiibo, and that rhythm mode probably could have just been a minigame. But again, I still really do like this game, but I just think it spread itself a little bit too thin across the different modes. Number 14, Mario Party 9. Mario Party 9 introduced significant changes to the series, really just shaking up the formula in ways that had both positive and also negative outcomes. To give Nintendo credit, they really decided to break away from the repetitive formula of the other 8 games in the series. While this shift didn't exactly hit the mark for me personally, I do think it's a little bit too harshly judged. I know some of my YouTube friends like Albert Boris and Shy Guy Kart really do enjoy this game, and honestly, I can certainly see why. If I grew up with this, I would have absolutely adored this, just like I adore Mario Party 4 and Mario Party 1. As mentioned with Mario Party 10, in Mario Party 9, players travel together in a car, collecting mini stars and battling bosses. This game offers some really large boards and also a lot more engaging content. It still really does have that touch of the classic Mario Party charm. The mini games here are also an improvement on some other games and have some absolute classics as well. However, the main board gimmick, which involves everyone moving together in a car, does remove some of that individual strategy and positioning. Instead of collecting coins, players now gather mini stars, and of course avoid mini Zetars. The player with the most mini stars at the very end of the game, of course, wins. The collective movement just means that you can't plan or strategize that effectively. It's almost like this game has a little bit more luck than skill. I still am a pretty big fan of this game though, especially the boss battles, but unfortunately the absence of a classic mode, confusing captain events, and just the kinda shorter gaming sessions left me just wanting a nice return to the classic Mario Party. Number 13, Super Mario Party. This game was the first installment of the Mario Party series for the Nintendo Switch. It aimed to be a nice fresh beginning by simply moving away from the car system and returning to classic board gameplay. The boards were designed to be traditional, characters moving around independently, and there were plenty of new modes that were being marketed alongside those traditional boards and minigames. Unfortunately, the excitement didn't fully materialize for me. Despite the familiar gameplay, Super Mario Party features the fewest and smallest boards in the series. The game's economy also felt super imbalanced. Stars only cost 10 coins, and the items were super damn cheap and way too frequent as well. The board gameplay though was the biggest problem for me, and the custom dice blocks and buddy systems only made things so much worse. Although the dice were meant to roll lower just to adapt to those smaller boards, the abundance of coins for buying items combined with a buddy system allowed players to travel great distances, and they could buy anything they saw in sight. The side modes though were honestly really enjoyable, but there just wasn't enough content just to sustain long-term interest. You kind of only played it once or twice and then you've played it all. Also being limited to only being able to play with Joy-Cons was a little bit of a turn-off. On the plus side though, the character roster and the mini-games are excellent. The game is still pretty enjoyable overall, and I'd be lying to say if I didn't have any fun. In fact, me and my friends had a lot of good nights on this game, and I'd still play it again, just not ahead of Superstars or Jamboree. Number 12, Mario Party Advance. Yep, I get it. It's probably surprising to see this game ranked so damn high, especially since it doesn't quite fit the mold of a traditional Mario Party. This was the first ever handheld Mario Party, and damn it, I freaking love it. This one is much more focused on single player, which is definitely a departure from the norm. It honestly kind of feels more like a spin-off, but I really have to admit, I really enjoy this game. If you understand going into this game that this is not going to be a traditional Mario Party experience, you're probably going to enjoy it. I really love the campaign in this game. You navigate through a massive board, taking on a variety of side quests. It might feel a little bit weird at first, but the clever writing and the humor really just pulls you in. I really love getting to know the characters you see around the board a whole lot better. It really just gives you a whole lot more understanding of who these people are. The mini games in this game are also pretty good. They don't quite reach the level of the console versions, but I still often find myself eager to reach the next one, just to see what's going on. I cannot tell you how excited I was to see that Jambore got a proper story mode, as it really reminded me of this game. Mario Party Advance does feel more like a spin-off than an actual Mario Party game, but it owns being a spin-off, and I can't help but enjoy it. Number 11, Mario Party 8. Mario Party 8 brought the series to the Nintendo Wii, introducing motion controls that just gave it a nice fresh feel. However, it didn't seem like a big leap forward for the Mario Party series. There was no online play, the visuals looked super similar to the GameCube titles, and the single player mode wasn't very exciting. Mario Party had better games before this, and also now after this. That being said though, playing with the Wii remotes and just sharing the experience with the family and friends was a whole lot of fun. The mini games were really enjoyable, and even now, they don't really feel like gimmicks. It was also really nice to just have the option to use standard controls. I also do have mixed feelings about the boards. Many are well designed, and these ones require different strategies to collect stars. Koopa's Tycoon Town really stands out. On the other hand, boards like Goomba's Booty Boardwalk is literally just a straight line, and doesn't feel that engaging. Despite this, I at least appreciate all the aesthetics of the boards in this game. Also, who can forget finally getting the player's blooper or hammer bro? I also do like the extra modes that this game came with. Overall, while Mario Party 8 did have its shortcomings, it still offers a whole lot of fun, and just by talking about this, I really want to play it right now. Number 10, Mario Party DS. While I enjoyed Mario Party Advance for what it was, Mario Party DS delivered the handheld Mario Party experience that I had always truly wanted. It took every single thing that made the series great and just scaled it down perfectly for a nice portable format. The game theme revolves around the characters being shrunk down, which is then reflected in the board's designs. You find yourself navigating through creative settings like a garden, a music room, and even a pinball machine. One of the most surprising features in this game is the ability to purchase multiple things during a turn at a shop, even if you already had 3 items in your inventory. I'm kinda glad it came back with Jamboree's ally system. However, whether you find this game enjoyable or not really may hinge on your opinion of the hexes and the hidden blocks that can be placed on the boards. I absolutely love both of these concepts, especially the hexes, and I'm so glad they came back in Jamboree. These things can drastically change the game, and I absolutely love the chaos. Beyond the board gameplay, Mario Party DS also offered some really entertaining minigame modes and a story mode that really stands out with its engaging boss battles. I think this game is just a really good overall package, and this is without a doubt my favorite handheld from the entire Mario Party series, not including the Nintendo Switch of course. Number 9, Mario Party 5. By the time Mario Party 5 came around, those familiar with the series already knew the deal. Play some minigames, get some coins, and of course collect stars. Then just casually become the superstar. The minigames in this game, as always, are an absolute blast, and the new set of boards to play are just as awesome as ever. I especially love the Toy World one and the Underwater Sea Dream one. Those ones are cool as hell. But the big thing about this game is that there is a new way to play. There's this new capsule system, which automatically gives the player an item when they pass that point on the board. They're essentially just items, but random. And you also get to throw these on random parts of the boards, kind of like the hexes we just talked about from DS. It just added a whole new dimension of strategy and of course chaos. There are also some new modes in this game as well. You of course have the classic story mode, but we also got arguably my favorite ever side mode in the entire Mario Party series, this being the Super Duel mode. You essentially just build a vehicle and then battle other people, and of course take them down. The other bonus modes are also really fun too. The character roster here is pretty standard, except for DK being taken out. He's now actively involved in the game. Visually though, the boards in Mario Party 5 was such a dramatic improvement on any of the other games in the series, at the time anyway. This game was just everything that was expected of it. Nothing crazy out of the ordinary, but a really solid entry. Number 8, Mario Party 1. I was lucky enough to grow up with the Mario Party series on the N64. I spent the most time with Mario Party 1 during family nights when I was just around 3 or 4 years old. I never technically owned this game, it was my brother's at the time, but it's the one that we spent the most playing on the N64. This game is simply special to me just because it was the start of everything. Mario Party 1 just set the stage for all the games that followed. It introduced key elements like dice rolling, blue spaces awarding 3 coins, and just established the basic formula that we've all known to come and love. The mini games and the original boards are still some of my absolute favorites to this very day, and there's a whopping 8 boards as well. I love the fact that 2 of these were unlockable too, which just added a lot of replay charm for me as a kid. I had no idea these boards existed, probably for like 6 to 8 months when I was playing this game with my family. This game has a very competitive edge, and it has some really harsh mechanics. You lose a mini game, you're giving away some of your coins, and if you're out of your coins and you see Bowser, well, he'll just take your stuff. This cruel twist is pretty much the opposite to the modern Mario Party entries, and I honestly really like this too. I hope one day there's a rule set where you can just select some real harsh punishments. This game also introduced chance time, which literally can just flip the game's outcome in an instant. This game is just a blast for me every single time that I play it. The only thing that truly lets Mario Party 1 down is its lack of in-game shops that were of course in Mario Party 2 and 3. But Mario Party 1's mix of excitement, challenge, and of course nostalgia just keeps me coming back for more. And whether you like it or not, this game was the start of an absolute freaking awesome series. Number 7, Mario Party Superstars. Mario Party Superstars is a nostalgic celebration of the classic Mario Party games, really capturing the spirit of parties from 2 decades ago. Although the limited selection of boards is a bit underwhelming, this was undeniably at the time the very best Mario Party game we had gotten in over 10 years. Instead of bogging the game down with some unnecessary new features or even watered down side modes, it just stuck to tried and true gameplay, just allowing fans to enjoy the familiar charm without any unwelcome changes. Plus, the addition of online play from launch this time meant even more opportunities for some competitive fun. As mentioned, prior to Superstars, the top 100 left fans wanting more, but this entry finally delivered the Mario Party experience that I had long hoped for. That said, there are some questionable choices here, like the change of Bowser's Island and Peach's birthday cake, as it now feels like more of a reward to actually go there, rather than being a punishment from the original. There was also some really good changes as well. For example, the Mario Party 1 boards now actually feature item shops, as there was no item shops in Mario Party 1. I really do hate touching on it, but the fact that we only got 5 boards was pretty disappointing when looking back at it, especially considering that Mario Party 3 only got 1 board, and spoiler alert, it got 0 in Jambore, where Mario Party 1 and 2 got another board. However, I really do like how Nintendo Cube actually tore this game down to just bare bone basics, and just making it all about the minigames and the boards, but a few extra characters would have certainly gone a long way. The game's economy was also still a little bit too lenient for my liking. You got coins from just doing a bunch of minigames, the ×2 coin events were just too much, and the items were just a little bit too easy to come by. You know, by turn 15, you could always buy a golden pipe in the shop. And like all the entries on the Nintendo Switch, there were just way too many lucky spaces in this game. All in all though, Mario Party Superstars is an incredibly fun game. This could have easily been in the top 3, just with some more customization options and some slightly more content. Number 6, Mario Party 7. The GameCube's final Mario Party Party is a decent way to wrap up the series on this console, but it feels like a more safe sequel. My absolute favorite part of Mario Party 7 is the ability to play with up to 8 people, just getting to share that controller with friends, even though some minigames have simpler controls. This game genuinely excels in offering a lot of content, which is absolutely great if you're looking for plenty to do. The minigames are plentiful, and as usual, they are pretty solid. I also love how there's plenty of content to unlock for a shop, even including figurines. The cruise ship setting is also super charming, it just adds a real nice backdrop to the game. I wasn't that big of a fan of the single player gimmick, especially Bowser time, which happens every 5 turns. I do reckon I prefer the normal Bowser spaces on the boards. The character roster in this game is also great, and I didn't quite mind how every character had their own special items to them as well, but that's just a personal preference. This game is just purely solid. There's not too much that stands out to me at face value, but it just does everything right. All the boards are enjoyable, the orbs are a lot of fun to use again, and it's just a real fun experience. Starting off the top 5, we have Mario Party 4. This one is probably a very unpopular opinion, but that's the good thing about tier lists. Really trying to set aside my personal bias was extremely hard for this one. This game really holds a special place in my heart. It is without a doubt my favorite installment in the series, and this is definitely due to nostalgia. I was a little bit too young to fully appreciate the N64 era, but by the time we got to the GameCube era, I finally was old enough to have my own GameCube, which meant I got my very own Mario Party game. As the first GameCube entry, this marked a pretty significant upgrade in graphics and just content. The game featured, in my opinion, 6 really good boards, a nice diverse mix of items, and a wealth of additional modes. All the boards do, however, share pretty similar layouts, but the gameplay, in my opinion, is certainly rich with variety. A very notable feature was the introduction of mini and mega mushrooms. The mega mushroom allowed you to steal coins from other players, but it did risk missing out on stars. However, the mini mushroom let you access secret paths on the board, but it did result in smaller dice rolls. It wasn't the most exciting new feature, and I have read it was quite disliked, but I really enjoyed it. In my opinion though, this game is home to the best mini games in the series. I have so many that I enjoy. I also particularly enjoyed the challenge modes for certain mini games, the ones where you can just keep playing as long as you can last. The character roster was a little bit of a letdown, as it wasn't updated from Mario Party 3, and the floating board layouts, when you look back at it, is a pretty notable thing. I would even go as far to say it's actually a step down from other Mario Party games. I think these boards in particular would definitely benefit from a remake. Another perhaps controversial opinion is the fact that I absolutely love Mario Party 4's story mode. I really enjoyed the challenge of beating every board of every character just to collect all the toys for the present room. It just kept me super engaged when I was playing solo. I just like winning on all the boards and then defeating the host in a minigame to unlock that present. Overall, I absolutely love Mario Party 4, and I will always defend this game, so it earns a position in my top 5. Number 4, Super Mario Party Jamboree. This game is finally here, and it takes the beloved chaotic fun of Mario Party to a whole new level. With more minigames, characters, and action-packed boards, it's hands down the biggest Mario Party on the Nintendo Switch, and maybe even of all time. First off, let's talk characters specifically. The roster has grown to 22 playable characters, which is now the largest in the series. Alongside some familiar faces, there are also 2 new unlockable characters, being Pauline and Ninji. I really wanted both of these characters in Mario Party, and unlocking them was pretty straightforward, but was still a nice little grind for players to just uncover them on their own. Now onto the heart of the game, the boards. For me personally, this is the make or break aspect of Mario Party, and Jambore delivers with 7 quality boards. Each one has its own distinct gimmick and just mechanics that keep things fresh. And there's different soundtracks to all the boards as well, even including home stretch music. And I also love the jingles that come along with every character too. Mega Wiggler's Tree Party has past change when the giant Wiggler is woken up. In Goomba Lagoon, you need to watch out for high tides and also a volcanic eruption. Roller Raceway is literally just Mario Kart, and you're just speeding around a dynamic circuit. Rainbow Galleria is basically the coconut mall of Mario Party, and it's in a massive shopping mall where you can get things half price as well. We then have the Bowser board being King Bowser's Keep, and this is really good for a Bowser board. And then we have 2 classics returning as well, being Western Land from Mario Party 2 and Mario's Rainbow Castle from Mario Party 1, both phenomenal boards, and the glow ups and changes they got in this game were absolutely good. I'll talk more specifically about those in its own separate separate video. This game genuinely has a bit of every other Mario Party in the series in it. A very big mechanic in this game is the Jambore buddies. These allies just help you for 3 turns, allowing you to double your actions, like earning double coins or stealing 2 stars. This also relates to unlucky stuff as well. Think like landing on a Bowser's base and then losing 2 stars kind of vibes. It's definitely a risk versus reward type of thing. I also like how every buddy comes with their own individual power up, and all the minigames are just themed after the character as well to earn them. It's really cool. The best part about this game though is that everything here is playable online, which is absolutely huge for a modern Mario Party game. Plus, competitive players will also love the Pro Rules feature. The economy could still use a little bit of tweaking, but at least in this game, there are a lot more negative spaces that can really impact you badly. It doesn't quite even it out, but it does help. The mini games in this game are fantastic as well. It has a nice mix of new ones and also nostalgic ones too. The game also expands even further with 3 new motion control modes and 2 new online modes. The Koopathlon and Bowser's Kaboom Squad are both really good. Then of course you have the Joy-Con modes like Paratrooper Flight School, Toad's Item Factory, and Rhythm Cooking, which all bring a lot of fun. The good thing about these side modes is they don't feel too watered down. They all actually feel like they impact the game in some way. For me though, the very best addition in this game is the story mode called Party Planner Trek. You essentially just explore the 5 new boards while playing mini games that help set up, help collect different items for the NPCs. It even answers some questions to get mini stars. As you continue to just help out, you get to learn about the NPCs and the boards a little bit better, face a boss at the very end of each one when you collect enough mini stars, and just collect things to actually decorate the party plaza. Speaking of, this game feels super connected, and that is thanks to the very interactive island hub world. You explore the world, take photos of NPCs popping up randomly, watch the unlockable boards being instructed, play some mini games on Minigame Bay, and just take in those beautiful vibrant visuals. It's just super jam-packed with content, and honestly, it's one of the best Mario Party games of all time. I just wish the economy was a little bit more harsher, and there was just more customization when it comes to the rules. Great game. Number 3, Mario Party 2. A sequel was meant to build on its predecessor, and Mario Party 2 certainly delivered. While it featured 1 less board than the original, it compensates with some standout additions. One memorable feature is the ability for characters to dress up just according to the theme of each board. In terms of gameplay, Mario Party 2 expands on the original by introducing duel and battle minigames for the very first time. This edition brings new ways to compete and interact with other players. It also introduces items that can be purchased on the board from an item shop, with my personal favorite being the skeleton key. It just opened up additional routes and added some real strategic options. The boards in Mario Party 2, in my opinion, were also a significant improvement over the first game. They are slightly more balanced, and I love the fact they all offer more paths. Horrorland, for example, featured a day and night cycle. It was such a good mechanic, it later inspired Mario Party 6. Mario Party 2 also takes many of the mini games from the first installment, refines them, and even finds some new exciting features too. Even though these mini games were taken from the original, they still feel different in some ways. Overall though, the improved board balance with multiple paths, coupled with the introduction of items and memorable challenges, makes Mario Party 2 a standout entry in the series. This takes us to number 2, and here we have Mario Party 3. Mario Party 3 was the final installment on the N64, and it ended the series on a real big high. It features excellent boards, engaging minigames, and introduces 2 new characters, being of course Daisy and Waluigi. With its updated visuals, the game still holds up remarkably well. The game also includes a more developed story mode compared to the other entries, and I've always been a real big fan of its unique pop-up book style. It's a real shame that this game seems pretty underrated, especially since Nintendo hasn't given it the attention it deserves. It got absolutely shafted in both Mario Party Superstars and of course Super Mario Party Jamboree, which is a real shame, as this game was the first one that kind of deviated from just the go ahead and find the star and buy it mechanic, which we got to see in Spiny Desert. In this board, you actually have to chase 2 stars, and one of them is a mirage. I really like this. I also enjoyed the action time events in this game too, and the addition of 2 item shops on the board was really cool at the time. One of the game's also notable improvements was the introduction of 3 item slots, just compared to the single slot in Mario Party 2. This just allowed for a whole lot more strategic planning. challenging. Overall though, unlike many modern Mario parties where side modes just take center stage, Mario Party 3 really focuses on delivering 6 fully fleshed out boards, offering plenty of items and a wide variety of good minigames. It really is a standout title that I truly believe deserves more recognition, and this takes us to our number 1 spot, of course being Mario Party 6. This is a standout installment in the series, and this is thanks to its very innovative day and night cycle. This feature transforms a typical star hunting gameplay into something much more dynamic. Every 3 turns, the game shifts between day and night. This means that some different characters do appear, new junctions open up, and mini games actually play differently. This not only refreshes the board's appearance, but also introduces a nice strategic layer that just keeps the game always feeling engaging and also a little bit unpredictable. This game also offers some boards that contain different ways to obtain stars. For example, on Fair Square, you have to pay different prices for stars, while Snowflake Lake actually features you riding on chain chomps to steal them. Another feature that I absolutely love that returns from Mario Party 5 was of course the orb system. This has seen some serious improvements compared to that game, as some now actually properly attack opponents and give coins back to the owner, kind of like a hex. Another change that I really liked is the fact that you can physically buy orbs at shops, as well of course just being able to get them from the normal capture machine. In addition, this game also makes use of the GameCube's microphone. To be honest, I didn't really use this all that much, but it's still a pretty nice novelty now, and I would use it if I had one. The mini games are also really good, and the introduction to Koopa Kid was certainly welcome, considering he's practically dead now. Overall though, Mario Party 6 excels at the high point of the GameCube era, really just blending fresh mechanics and a wealth of content to offer a real nice revitalized Mario Party experience. It's no doubt why it's most people's favorites, and I guess it is mine as well. But overall, that has been my ranking of every single Mario Party game from across the series. Be sure to let me know down in the comment section what your ranking looks like. Do you agree with me? Am I an absolute idiot? I don't know. This was definitely impacted by a bit of nostalgia, things that I genuinely enjoy, and probably just my feelings at the time of recording this. The main thing is, we all absolutely love this series, and we just want to see it do really well. So make sure to go out and buy Mario Party Jamboree. I can't wait to continue making a lot more content on that game. So it'd be really appreciated if you could leave a like, comment, and subscribe, even if you think my opinions are complete bollocks. Until all the other Jamboree videos that I have planned for you, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya!